Hello, welcome back to my channel. By now, I know you have heard about Marvin Sapp. Can we talk about it? Let's get into it. So, Marvin Sapp is going viral right now. Going viral for something that happened last year. Evidently, it's just picked up momentum and now it's out for the world to see how he treated his church members. I'm going to play the audio.
Ushers, the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date.
Okay. So he had the ushers of his church close the door. He wasn't letting anybody out. So he says, until they sowed his small seed of $20. He said it was 1,000 of them in there, and all of them needed to put up $20. If they did, it would have been $20,000. Then he said it's 1,000 of you online. If 1,000 of them online sent in $20, that's another $20,000. He expected to collect $40,000 that night. He says 1,000 of y'all in here. I don't care what other bills you might have to pay. I don't care if you want to leave here and go get something to eat. I mean, why give that to the restaurant when you can give it to me? $20. How could he? He's supposed to be a man of the cloth. He's supposed to be a man of God. And you're going to hold your church members hostage because that's what that sounded like. Shut the door. Close the doors. I said close the doors. And you could tell that the ushers were like, huh? What? Close the doors. He had to say it like 3 or 4 times. They were like, it wasn't registering. Like, why is he telling us to close the doors? Like, what is he doing? That would have unnerved me as well. $20 from everybody. And he wanted to see the money. He wanted everybody to come up front. Put the baskets up front. He wanted everybody to come forth. He said, I want 1,000 people moving. I want to see it. I want to see it go in the basket. Did he just rob them people? I mean, even though this happened last year sometime, it is just picking up momentum. Evidently, it's just making its way to the surface. But he did this last year at some point. It wasn't any time, 2025. This happened in, I want to say it happened in 2024. But my whole thing is this. I don't have to give you anything. I'm here to praise God, not you. 1. 2, if I've already paid my tithes for the week or the month or however I pay them, I ain't got to give you another $20, especially if you haven't told me what it's for. It wasn't like he said, oh, we have this family in need. They can ready to get put out on their, of their house. They've been evicted. The husband lost his job. The children need surgery. It wasn't any sob story. And you telling me I got to give you $20? Now, the only reason why I'm not really all that shocked about it is because that's how those pastors, reverends, bishops, whatever he goes by, I don't know, what is he, Bishop Sapp? I don't know. That's how they move in those mega churches. Story time. About 20 years ago, and yeah, 20 years ago, I was going to this mega church in my area, right? And they had these things that they were doing, which looked like it might have been going on here too with Marvin Sapp. Because remember, he said the people up there the pastors have to give $100 because it costs to be up on stage with him. So they had to give $100. But everybody else had to give $20. But anyway, sound like all the pastors up there doing their thing. And what it was is like, okay, so when I went to this church, they had like I want to say it wasn't a part of the Sunday service. I want to say we went back for evening service. And they did these things called dual sermons, or they would have more than two or three pastors up there, but they would be feeding off of one another and they would give you the word. And the way they did it would be real dynamic and exciting, right? And this particular event, it was our pastor who was hosting it because it was at our church, but he had invited like two or three other pastors. And I remember the name of, I distinctly remember the one pastor because he had to be checked. But it was like two or three other pastors, I think. It was at least three of them. It might have been four. Anyway, they were going to do that feeding off of one another. They were going to have this quadruple sermon, I guess you call it, right? And it came to a part in the service where they were asking for, the offering, donations, whatever. And I can't remember how people gave, like, because there are tiers, right? So in this mega church, you have people on the floor, then you have people on the side, and it kind of goes up. And that's how, and I always set up, not in the nosebleed seats, but I always set up because I like to look down. And I remember the people at the bottom would always go up or whatever and put their money in the basket, or whatever. But they would have, like, the ushers would come and, feed the plate down the pew for us, right? And I think we did give an offering or whatever, the same old stuff. Every event they pass around the plate, right? But this particular one, it was one of the visiting pastors actually that had gotten on the podium and was like, anybody in here got $50? Come on down here and just put the $50 in. And we're gonna say, I know somebody in here got $50. So a couple, a lot of people went down there, they had their $50 that they was donating to the event because it was a nice event, right? Then he turned back around and said, okay, well, who has $100? Now, mind you, this was 20 years ago. Not that $100 ain't, nothing now, but 20 years ago, $100, I mean, I'm trying to think. I wasn't spending $100 in church. Maybe over uh, a whole month if I gave whatever my weekly thing was. I can't remember at that time. I might have done $100 by the end of the month, but not in one sitting. And he asked, he said, anybody, I know somebody here got $100. And I don't know if it was one person that went up here or two people, but it wasn't that many. And I remember he turned around, he said, I know it's more people here that got $100. And if we did, hello? And it got to the point where people were sitting there and they were kind of like annoyed at him because he was like begging. He said, I know y'all have $100. I know it's more people in here that's got $100. I mean, he kept saying that. Then finally, our bishop, pastor, I don't know if he was bishop then, but our pastor had to get up and say, we don't do that here. And he looked so crazy in the face when he said that. He's like, no, we don't do that here. And he cut it because he saw the faces of his, of his church, of his congregation. And his thing was, oh no, this ain't going over too well. Because people were like, I know he asked. We already put in the offering. You put in what you could put in, or what you wanted to put in, not what you could, what you wanted to put in. Then you gonna come back and ask us for another $100? So when I heard Marvin Sapp do that, that's what it put me in the mind frame of. Again, he was on the stage with several pastors. I'm thinking maybe they're trying to grow the pot because they all got to split it. And it looked like a lot of pastors up there behind him, and they probably wanted to take a couple grand home a piece. And the only way to do that is to close the doors and make everybody give them $20. Sorry. Yeah, so that behavior is not uncommon for mega churches. Just saying. And then Marvin Sapp, he's a renowned gospel singer. So he's got even that much more clout. Like, people are going to flock, to see him speak or whatever. And he used that to his advantage. But no, I don't agree with him telling everybody shut the doors. And once everybody give what they supposed to give, then we can all leave at the same time. No, Ninja, I'm leaving now. Sorry. No disrespect. But what you all gonna do is open them doors. Well, I gotta call 911 because that's a fire hazard and you're keeping me against my will. That's a hostage situation. And I'm out of here. And I'm not giving you no money because that's robbery. If I've already given you money, I don't have no more to give. Hello? And then on top of that, you're not telling me what it's for. You're just telling me you want to see the money flowing because there's 1,000 people in there. And you think you're entitled to those people's $20 bills? What makes you think that if they've already passed around the plate? Now, I don't know if they've already passed around the plate or not, but my whole point being is how you know anybody in there got $20? What if you don't even got $20? You can't leave? Girl. Tell me what y'all think. Out of line or good cause? He said, giving is worshiping. Whose side are you on? Leave it in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you made it this far, you must have enjoyed my story. You must have enjoyed our time here today. Please subscribe and share. And with that being said, everyone be blessed. Peace.